Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, brother. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one true living God, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the long-awaited Messiah of the Christians and Mahdi of the Muslims. It is in the words of the righteous that I greet you today in the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. For those of you who are unfamiliar with those words, they mean simply in English, peace be unto you. I just want to say this here. When Minister Rahim sent me the text, I thought about what the flyer said about violence. And we have rallies like this all over the city, all over the country, all over the world. Why has violence not stopped? Violence has not stopped because, number one, it's not important to us. Number two, we're not concerned about what's going on around us, so that we don't change it. Allah says in the Quran, if you want to change a condition, you got to change it yourself.
That's right.
Minister Rahim spoke about the work that I do. I spent 23 years of my life in prison for a crime that I didn't commit. I want y'all to hear this. 23 years, 6 months, and 14 days for a crime that I had no knowledge of. They picked me up and put a charge on me and sent me to prison. They sentenced me to 80 years in prison. I was a law clerk on death row for 19 years. I'm one of the brothers that started the GED program inside of prison.
Right.
The organization that I work for, that I'm a part of, other than being a member of the Nation of Islam, is Transforming Reentry Service, Men and Women in Prison Ministry. This organization was started in prison. And we started it in prison because, like my brother said, we were watching men and women come in and out of these jails with no hope, no direction. I don't care who they was plugged with, they were not teaching them what they needed. So in 1995, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said something that stuck with me. During the Million Man March, 2 million men gathered on Washington Mall in 1995. They were not Muslims. They were not just Christians. They was from every denomination you can think of. GD, BD, CD, Poppy, all kind of, everybody was there. If they was black, they was there. But the minister said something in his speech that stuck in my heart, that's with me to this very day, that motivates me to do this work. Mostly at the end of the speech, he said, adopt an inmate. He told 2 million men, he said, when you go back home, adopt an inmate. So I asked the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, now when this happened, I was in prison. I had no idea that I was going to have a conversation with him. And one day I was sitting down, I'm in the ministry class. And I asked the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I say, Brother Minister, why did you ask us to adopt an inmate in 1995? These are his words. He said, brother, that's a whole nother world that we're disconnected from. He said, once you connect to that world, you can change the reality of this world.
That's true.
I say, wow. We're disconnected from that world and we can never change this world. So what I did when I came home, I started working with brothers like the minister, Original Men in Black. I started working in the streets. I've been home, April the 7th, make 23 years I've been home. I work in the street every day. I have the largest mailing list in the country. I write over 2,000 black men and women incarcerated in the prison because the ministers say adopt an inmate. How many here are connected to family members that's locked up? I ain't say you know them, I say be connected to them. That's the difference. When I say being connected to them, Jesus said a house divided against itself can't stand. You know what I'm saying? Being connected to them means sharing with them letters of information and things what's going on in the community that possibly may save their life. What is it that a guy need in prison? What is it that a woman need in prison? Is anybody can tell me what they really need? You know what they need? They need guidance. I know, man, I'm seeing you some money. You don't need no money. He don't pay no lights, no rent, no gas, no phone bill, no cell phone bill. So what the hell he need money for? So what you keep sending money into jail for? I'm just gonna tell you, stop. What he need is guidance. Because no matter how beautiful your vehicle is, if it don't have a steering wheel, it ain't going nowhere. Am I right or wrong? So what he needs is for you, brother, what he needs for you, sister, is to sit down and write him a letter or compose him a letter and talk to him and explain to him how much you love him and what he needs to do. Now, why is the letter so important? The visit ain't really important. The money gonna be spent. I'm gonna tell you why the letter is so important. Because it's like the Quran. It's like the Bible. You can read it again. And you can read it again. And you can read it again. So daddy told you, say, man, listen, it ain't like it used to be. So now he's thinking about what you told him. Because in his mind, he's realizing the value of that letter. To a prisoner, a letter is more valuable than silver and gold. And anybody that's out here that's been to prison will bear me. Am I right or wrong, bro? Huh? That money don't mean nothing. Write him a letter. Why is that letter so important? Because that letter connects him to you and him to the world. Am I right or wrong? So when you get a letter and they call you and they say, Minister Anton, yes sir. Minister so-and-so, come on. They calling them names, man, you looking for that letter. What about that brother that didn't get the letter? This how he look. He got an attitude. Everybody got mail but him. I ain't telling you what I read in a book. Right. I'm not telling you what I read on social media. Right. I'm telling you what I lived for 23 years, 6 months, and 14 days. I watched men not get no mail. And they sit in 6x9 cell. They frustrated. You ain't mad at nobody but yourself. Man, they could have wrote me. I ain't got no mail in months. So when he called you on the phone, he talking like you owe him something. Man, nigga, you can't write a letter? Man, what your problem is? What y'all doing out there, man? Y'all ain't got time to write a letter. Nothing. Y'all don't want to tell him that, but you gonna say you busy. Oh man, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this. You're lying. You don't want to come to grips with yourself. You don't want to face the reality of yourself, so you won't write him so you can connect to him because you ain't connected to yourself. That's why Jesus said a house divided against itself cannot stand. He didn't say it will stand. He said it cannot stand. Why? Because you discriminate against your own self. That's your other half. That's your brother. So when we talk about violence, we got to first connect with those that we're working for in the prison and in the streets. Talking to the brothers in the street is nice. But my brother said it well. When you ain't connected with them, when you don't sit down and talk with them, go take them to White Castle, Burger King, and McDonald's and share a meal with them, you just like James Brown say, talking loud and ain't saying nothing. Ain't that what James Brown say? Talking loud. Y'all know that song?
Yes, sir.
And ain't saying nothing. Huh? And he ain't saying just one time, ain't saying nothing. Ain't saying nothing. Don't be like that. I like to share my life with you. I have resources. TRS, Transformer Reentry Service, we have resources. We have the only resource directory in the state of Illinois that is put together by ex-offenders. You want to come to my office? You don't need no appointment. You ain't got to call nobody. When the doors open at 9 a.m., you're welcome to come in, tour the place. We got directories that we can connect them with these directories to give them all of the resources in the state of Illinois.
That's women and men, right?
Both men and women.
All right.
We give them clothes. When they come out of jail, first thing I say, brother, you want to go get an interview to get you a job? I got some suits right here. Get you a nice suit. Get you a couple of them. But it's going to take us to save us.
That's right. Yeah.
Nobody, no benevolent white man is going to come down and save us, brother. It's going to be up to the black man and black woman. Like my brother said, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you're going to start making a change. I can show you how to adopt an inmate. I got lists. I ain't saying one list. I got lists. I got 2,000 people on that list. Just 2 weeks ago, I spoke to 13 prisons from my office. I'm making it my business to go to every prison in the state of Illinois. I wrote to State Representative LaShawn Ford, every prison in the state of Illinois. Why? Because we got to connect with our brothers, man. The stuff they doing in them prisons and in these streets are results of what's in their mind.